YouTube, what is up? Northeast Ohio. Here for a little, we're called this NBA hot takes. I'm just going to drop some general takes for the sports card market and this coming NBA season and the two intertwining together. So this might be a little all over the place. I don't know. I got a couple bullet points that I wrote down just for some general things. And these are not like, do not take this as like investment advice or whatever. I am not using a lot of numbers to back up any of these shenanigans I'm about to drop on you guys. This is just some like general gut feels. I'm going to go out on a limb on a few things, maybe. Some will probably be a little bit safer. But just some general thoughts about the current sports card market and the NBA season. So, real quick before we get into it, like, comment, sub. Links to market movers down below. 20% off code. What else is down there? Star stock, you get 10, I get 10, we all get 10. That code's still going on. That's down there. All that jazz. All right. So what I want you guys to do in the comments down below, leave me your spiciest, hottest NBA card market take. Whatever it is. So-and-so is going to go to X price. So-and-so player is going to be a bust. This product's going to do this. This thing passes this. Whatever it is, I want to know it. Share it with us down below. And let's see what the hottest, spiciest take someone has. Now, don't just literally put a little bit of logic behind it. And then at the end of the NBA season, maybe we'll revisit this and we'll have the receipts to back it up. So leave that down below. Let's get into it. So, first off, I think that the sports card market, specifically basketball, is going to go absolutely bonkers the next, let's call it 4 to 6 weeks at minimum. I think it's really going to get crazy the next month and a half. You have a few things happening all at once. Biggest is the NBA season is starting back up. 2, stimulus checks are coming. And if you don't think that matters, then you weren't playing around back in the spring when everyone got extra money. The stimulus checks previously in the spring is what I firmly believe caused a lot of the price hikes and influx in the prices of the current market that we now live in. There's a lot of people that desperately need that money. And they should get it. In fact, they should get a lot more. 600 is a joke, if you ask me. There are a lot of people that don't necessarily need that money, and the people that don't need that money are going to blow it on stupid stuff like sports cards. This is going to coincide with the beginning of the NBA season basically starting. I don't know exactly when the checks are coming, but I really think the first few months of this NBA season is going to be wild times in the sports card market. A couple things playing to that. Like I said, stimulus checks, that's 1. 2, the NBA season starting. 3, I think as long as COVID doesn't get in the way of some of these players, which could absolutely happen. But I don't believe in Zion long term. I just think eventually this guy's going to break down due to injuries. But short term, like through this season, for the next couple years, I'm not looking to hold his stuff for 5-10 years like I am Luka. Or Tatum or Giannis or Ja Morant. But I think Zion is going to come out on absolute fire. He doesn't have a minutes restriction anymore. He's looked great in a couple preseason games. His prices have already gone up 20%. And him, Luka, Trey, and Ja really drive the market. Luka going absolutely... Try to remember back to 2019 when the world was normal. The beginning of the 2019 season, beginning of last season, which was last November, 2 Novembers ago now, sounds like an eternity. The beginning of Luka's sophomore year, he came out and went absolutely nuts. And that's what really lit the spark in the NBA market. Then you have the Zion and Ja hype. Zion shows some flashes in the preseason, whatever, all that stuff. All the Zion and John nonsense, plus Luka going crazy. And then, you guys know the story from there. The whole market goes nuts, COVID, the whole 9 yards. If Zion comes out on fire, his prices are going to go crazy. And I think Ja is also going to come out on fire. He has looked fantastic. And I think he's going to come out and look absolutely amazing as well. Plus whatever Luka does. I actually think Trey may disappoint the most out of the four. They're going to have a lot of pressure on them and a lot of new moving parts. Not saying it's going to affect his card prices one way or the other, but I'm telling you right now, if Zion and Luka come out and Ja just on fire, and Trey, any combination of the four of those guys, the market is going to go crazy. And as those guys go, the market kind of goes. That's why I talked about in the video yesterday. I think 1920 sealed wax is about to go crazy. We're moving into the 2021 cycle now. NBA Hoops premium stock is on the shelves now. That's basically the last of the normal releases. Flawless and Eminence are still coming, but you can't afford those unless you want to sell your car. And I just really think when they come out and they go crazy, these wax prices are going to go nuts for those guys. So, first take, not really hot. I really think the NBA card market's about to just explode for a second time here at the beginning of the season. Some players are going to go down. That's normal. But I think we're going to be talking on the weekly market updates and stuff about this guy's up 20%. This guy's up 30%. And the guys that don't play well or get hurt or whatever, their prices are going to crash fast. This market is very quick moving. It does not hesitate. So I don't really know how hot this is with that all being said. Currently, as of today, right before the NBA season starts, and you can see Zion has had a little spike recently. This is Zion and Ja's chart dating back to January 1st. I was just kind of curious what it looked like, how close Ja ever got. So currently right now, Zion is going for $820 for a PSA 10 base prism. My first, I don't know if this is necessarily a hot take or not. I think this thing's over $1,000 by mid-January. Maybe even the second week of January. I think this blows past $1,000, and I think it gets to close to, I'm going to say easily 12 to 1,500. No problem. No problem. Once again, I'm not saying go out and buy this because it's going to go there. This is me just kind of throwing shit out there. Just kind of gut feels what I think. I would not act on this with your own money. Do research on stuff and see what you think. This is just my prediction. Now, he could come out and get hurt and look like crap, and his price will tank. But hot take, Zion will blow past $1,000 on his PSA 10 base prism and maybe touch $1,500 if things go correctly. The other hot take, Ja is currently at $540 for his base prism PSA 10. I believe Ja cracks $1,000 at some point in time this season for a base prism PSA 10. All right, we'll go super spicy. I think Ja really closes the gap on Zion in regards to price. I really like Ja. I think Ja's going to come out like a bat out of hell. And I can really see Ja closing the gap on Zion from the two darlings of that class, if you will. So those are the first couple. NBA market's going to come out on freaking fire because I think Zion's going to start out on fire, and Ja and Luka and all those guys, plus stimulus checks. I think 1920 wax is going to go absolutely crazy early in the season, reflecting those guys going crazy and the supply continuing to dwindle. I think Zion easily blows past 1K for his base card and creeps up to 1,500 at some point in time in the season. And I think Ja blows past 1K for his base card. I think Luka, PSA 10 base prism, which are currently at 1,800, his all-time high in the bubble when he hit the game winner was 2,100. I think Luka gets the 2,500 easy, and I think Luka blows past $2,000 easily. I really think Luka's a $2,500 PSA 10 at some point in time. And most of this stuff I actually think is going to happen quickly. I really do. I really do. Other random takes slash hot takes. Let's talk about grading for a minute. I think PSA will stay the dominant force. That's not a hot take. I don't see anyone coming close to them. However, I think during this NBA season, SGC will establish themselves as the number 2, jumping BGS. I think BGS is that big of a mess. Like, I already feel the BGS fanboy comments getting posted on this video and the dislike buttons already getting clicked. But BGS is an absolute shit show right now. When's the last time you saw someone do a submission reveal from BGS on YouTube? It's all PSA and then the occasional SGC. When's the last time you saw someone do a BGS preview submission? No one ever does them. Everyone sends the PSA. But I think SGC clears their backlog, begins to process orders again with whatever new system they're going to roll out. And I think, because they're already close to BGS, like an SGC 10 is right by a BGS 9.5. And at one point in time, it was selling for better than a BGS 9.5. I think it clearly establishes itself. I think we see the SGC 10 clearly establish itself between a PSA 10 and a BGS 9.5. With that being said, you're still going to want to send all your stuff to PSA, but I think SGC works out a nice little niche for lower end stuff. Maybe things like in a 10 that are like around $100 to $150 a card, like a Luka insert from Mosaic, that's base raw is like a $5 card, and you can send it to them for $10 to get graded, and then maybe you could sell it for like 50 or 60 if it's an SGC 10. So the grading stuff always gets a little spicy, but I think PSA chips away at their backlog, but it's still going to be a nightmare in regards to how long it takes to get their stuff. And we will all swallow that pill and take it because their slabs will continue to hold the most value. Another thing, I think the retail marketplace changes at some point in time during this NBA season. What do I mean by that? I would not be shocked if in the coming months, Target and Walmart no longer carry sports cards. Or if they do, the system is drastically changed. Let me tell you a little story. This is how things are around my area. And I know that not everything is like this. And obviously I'm in the Northeast Ohio area. There are 2 Targets now by me. And by the way, this is a fantastic system they have put in place. They do a digital line queue on the day the vendor stocks. So I discovered this last week. I have not been out retail hunting in weeks, mostly due to, COVID cases spiking, work, just being busy. And I know that all the stores around me have limits, and everyone lines up and waits for the vendor because everybody knows the stock time. And I'm not going to stand there and wait in line to get 2 cello packs. Not for me. I'll just go buy a hobby box if I really want to rip. So what they have done, because people were lining up in the card aisle and clogging up space and social distancing was impossible and all this or that, you go in and check in with like the concierge or the front desk girl or guy, and they put you in line. When the vendor comes, he gives the cart of all the good stuff directly to a Target employee, and then they begin to work through the line queue. They send you a text to say it's your turn to come up and pick up what you want with their whatever limits they have in place. You have about 5 minutes to get there, and then they skip over your spot. So the day that I went, there was like 16 people in line in front of me. They had already checked out quite a few people. I walked around the store for about 15 minutes, went out and sat in my car for 10. Then I got the text to come in, got my blaster in my hanger box, and went on my merry way. I got to say, it was a pretty goddamn good system. My wife on Monday was at Target. She sends me a text. She goes, "Oh, I'm at Target. Do you need anything?" And I said, "No," but I said, "That store stocks today. Can you just check in to see if they have any basketball cards laying around?" And I hadn't checked this store for a while either, but this is the other store that was local to me. She goes and checks in. She goes, "This is intense. There's like a whole line system and stuff." And I said, "Okay." I was like, "Well, how many people are in line?" The vendor wasn't even there yet. There was 36 people in line in the digital line. 36 people. You really think a big box retailer wants to go through all this crap to manage sports cards when it's not even their inventory? It's the vendors. I don't exactly know how Target gets paid for that stuff, but I'm pretty sure they just lease the space. They could just cancel the leases on the space and put their own product there and be done with it. That's why you don't see blasters and stuff get checked into the inventory on the online systems. That's why those are notoriously worthless, because the inventory never gets checked into the store because it's not the store's inventory. And I don't know the specific inner workings on that, but I believe that's basically how it works. Um, and I just don't think these stores want to deal with it anymore. The people lining, imagine if they didn't have this digital queue system, having 36 people lined up. And I saw that when I used to go in there. I would go in and check every once in a while on Mondays because they would stock first thing in the morning. And when what was it? Chronicles basketball came out, there was 20 people lined up at their customer service center waiting on the vendor. These stores don't want that. They don't want to deal with that, especially during a pandemic, even when there's not a pandemic on. They don't want to deal with the fights, the theft. Theft, I guess, is through the roof right now. So I think at some point in time, someone's going to, at a corporate level, is going to be like, you know what? This is not worth the headache this is putting on our employees. We'll just put some freaking Kit Kats there and be done with it. That could be another Mountain Dew display case and move on. So what happens? They stop carrying it. Okay. I think Panini begins to sell blasters, megas, cellos, and stuff directly on their website, starting with maybe Prism. I think by Prism, some of this stuff gets sorted out. I just don't see I don't know what happens, but something's going to happen because the current way that it works, I don't think is sustainable, and I don't think the stores want to deal with it. The stores do not want to dedicate 3 employees to dealing with these people that line up for 2 blaster boxes. I mean, to each their own. I'm not going to criticize anyone for how they make money. I'm not one of those people that on every freaking Facebook group goes ballistic because someone's trying to sell a blaster for 3x. Guess what? That's the market price. Sorry about your luck, buddy, that you work a full-time job and you can't get there to get it, and you want to cry about the kids and all that stuff. Whatever. I'm not going to sit here and criticize how someone wants to make their money, but I think the current retail market model is beyond broken, and something is going to change because I don't think Target and Walmart are going to want to deal with it anymore. Between the theft, the people lining up, and just all the shenanigans. So, and if anything, Panini would rather just sell it to us directly because they just make all the money. Then there's no third party in between. And good luck thinking they're going to sell you a $20 blaster for $20. I don't think that's going to happen. I'm waiting for retail prices to increase, and blasters are 40 and mega boxes are 100 at retail. Maybe that's part of the solution is you jack the prices up at the retail level. I don't know if that solves it or slows it down. It probably doesn't. The other thing I'm curious about, and I'm not necessarily going to drop a hot take on this one because I really don't know. I'm very interested to see how the secondary market this NBA season plays out with this draft class. Personally, I don't think this draft class is that great. I think whoever becomes like the NBA All-Stars out of this class, I don't think it's guys in the top 3 or 4. I think it's going to be someone later in the class or someone's later in the class, like late lottery pick, whatever. Like I don't, and I'm not saying that they're going to be on this level, but like how Kawhi and Giannis and Paul George and all that stuff were, early to late teens picks. Someone like that maybe is the best player out of this class, or like, Denny Avdia or something that went to the Wizards. Just one of these random guys, I think, are going to be the premier name out of this class, but I don't think we're going to know it for a couple years. We've been literally blessed with the 2 best draft classes we have ever seen for top tier talent. Not ever seen, but since the LeBron draft, basically. With Luka and Trey 2 years ago, Ja and Zion last year. From a hype meter, it's off the charts. This class is nowhere near it. It does not have a hyped player in it. You can talk about LaMelo Ball to me all day long. The guy can't shoot. If you can't drop 20 to 30 points a night, most people aren't going to care about you because you're Ricky Rubio 2.0. Enjoy your LaMelo cards. Hot take. I don't think LaMelo is going to be that. I think LaMelo will be a fine NBA player. If anything that I pulled out of him, I would look to sell immediately because I don't think he could score consistently. And just like in baseball, chicks dig the long ball. People want points. That's what sells. Points and winning. And guess what? He's not on a winning team either. The Hornets suck. You know, and you got James Wiseman. Big men traditionally sell like crap. And he's on COVID to start the beginning of the season. Anthony Edwards, no one really knows what the hell he's going to do, but the Timberwolves are historically a mess. So good luck with him coming out straight. The best two players out of the top things that I like are Patrick Williams and Isaac Okoro. Then you get into the more flyer type guys like Denny Avdia and those types of guys. So we'll see, but I'm very curious if this class starts out slow, how does that affect the retail flipping? And maybe that solves the retail problem. Maybe we just have a bad class. Who knows? You know, our blasters, are people going to be wanting to rip blasters at 60 to 80 bucks a pop of Prism basketball to pull a LaMelo rookie when he's averaging 8 points a game, 10 assists, and 6 turnovers and shooting 33%? I don't know. I don't think so. But maybe 3 years from now is the next great hope out of this class. But I don't think it's going to be anyone immediately. I don't even know how many of these guys are going to play right off the get for us to even see them. So, yeah, I think all that stuff combines to the retail model changing. And like I said, I'll be very curious to watch how flipping prices adjust to a down market on this stuff. I think I hit on pretty much all of them. I don't know how many of those were hot and spicy, but yeah, I think that's all I got for you guys today. I think I blew out my so I'm not sure how many of those are hot and spicy, but we'll see. Do me a favor and leave whatever your hot takes are below in the comments. So YouTube nonsense, like, comment, sub, and then don't forget, leave me your best NBA season / card markets related hot take in the comments below. And we will catch you guys on the next one. Enjoy the start of the NBA season tonight. Peace.